Welcome to the program. I'm Adam Tallent, former Franklin High School girls softball coach. Today I have the opportunity through FPSN to interview Taylor Carlton. Taylor is a three-sport athlete at Franklin High School. She participates in volleyball, basketball, and I got to coach her for 2 years in softball, and she's a super athlete. Taylor is one of the strongest athletes I've ever coached. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Taylor?
Doing great.
What have you been doing during this quarantine, shelter-at-home time? Sleeping, doing some homework, watching
Uh,
movies?
yeah, been running a lot, and I'm not a runner, so it's been interesting.
Staying in
Been
shape.
hitting a lot into the net, throwing.
Good, good. I know when this whole COVID-19 thing came about, I can remember early March, I was leaving school, and the first thing that came to my mind was when they talked about March Madness was not going to be played. And that was a shock to me because I've never thought that it would get to this point. But then it made me think more of other sports that would be canceling, and then shortly it led to all spring sports canceling and high school spring sports canceling. And for a long time, I thought it was just going to be a short break, but we see where we're at today. So how does that make you feel about this?
Well, I'm glad that I've gotten the opportunity to play the last 3 years and have a full season and have gotten to the state championship and extra games. But I'm glad we got to play a couple games and then some practices too. But I'm just glad that I took the most out of that opportunity.
Who told you about the spring sports being canceled or postponed, and how did you feel when you were first heard about that?
Coach Becca. I kind of teared up a little bit, but I was in yearbook and Coach Becca texted me. I was like, I'm thinking all the spring sports are going to get canceled or postponed. And I was talking to Miss Moffat about it, and we were just trying to get to the bottom of it. And we were just so nervous about it. Me and Chloe Lane and a couple others.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. I know I can't even imagine being a former coach thinking about not getting to finish a season. And luckily, you guys did get to start a few games, but not getting to finish it could definitely be heartbreaking and disappointing, especially from a senior standpoint. I know the NCHSAA had talked about modifying a season, trying to bring it together towards the end of the maybe May or June. It seems like we're not getting to that point now, though. It seems like the season's going to be canceled. And like you said, you have a great attitude about it. You were blessed with 3 seasons, and you were very successful. Like I mentioned, I got to coach you when you were a freshman and sophomore, and there were some good times during those times. Can you come up with one memory or a few memories of when you played softball, especially that you can remember, that you can go back on and think that was a very good memory for you?
The state championship. All the way.
I agree. One of my favorite memories, you probably haven't even thought about this, you went straight to state championship, but one of my memories about you was regional championship. The last game, we were at home, we were down, and the 5th inning, we'd already hit 2 home runs, I think, in that inning, and you hit the go-ahead home run for us to go ahead. And essentially, that's what sent us to the state championship. So that was a good memory. That was one of my favorite memories. That whole inning is probably a memory for me as a former coach. Is there any other memories that you have in your other sports? Because you did play
Volleyball this year. Volleyball this year, we got to go the farthest we have in a long, long time. So I always remember actually setting a new standard for years to come.
And I think you were a part of that for not only volleyball, but for you were part of a basketball team that did very well this year, won conference last season, won the conference tournament. And also, you were obviously, like I said, as a freshman and then a sophomore, we went to the state championship. And then last year, y'all went to the regional finals again. So I think you've been a part of three sports of setting the standard to the next level and what everyone below you, the underclassmen below you, will be shooting for.
Yeah.
What are you going to miss most about your time in athletics in high school?
Definitely like knowing everyone. I've been playing with them since I was like 7, and just like the whole like town just coming out to support you, and like everyone knowing you, everyone wanting to talk to you after the game. I'll just never forget that. And like the bleachers filling up, especially like whenever we got to regionals and everything, like the entire town like came out and was like around the fence supporting us.
Those are special times that you'll never forget. I think we've talked about this, and I know Coach Bobby's talked to you about it before too. But those are memories that you make that you'll never forget, that you'll tell your children, your grandchildren about. And like I said, that memory I have of you hitting that home run will be one of those memories that I will remain having as a coach for a long time. What are you going to miss specifically about softball?
Probably knowing that like everyone knows they set me to a standard here, and I have to hit that standard every game or every practice. I'm always trying to make sure I'm working hard, especially for the young kids in our town. They always like, I've heard about them, like they're always saying, I want to be like you whenever I get older. I want to be that hard worker you are. So I just want to set that standard for them.
What's funny about hearing you say that is I can remember when you were that young kid. I had the opportunity to teach you at Mountain View when you were in 5th grade and 6th grade, and to watch you grow from 5th grade all the way now to a senior. I can remember when you were at that point of looking up to players, and now you're a player that these young girls are looking up to. And I think you've set a good example by doing that. Yeah. What are your thoughts? I know, again, this COVID-19 has caused a lot of disruption with seniors, with other plans and things. What's your thoughts on prom and graduation?
Well, those were like things I was really looking forward to, like just everyone, like especially for my graduation, like for my whole family, just to come out and support me. And then for prom, it's just like the last memories you'll make before you leave. So it's just sad, but I mean, you just have to make the best out of it.
You know, listening to you talk, I can already tell from being around you as long as I have, the maturity has happened abundantly. And to hear you speak that way, because you have other people that are so looking at the negative parts of it, and I'm very appreciative that you look at the positive parts of it. But I know there's a lot of things going on right now through Facebook and through other social media things of recognizing seniors and their accomplishments and everything. And I just want you to know you are appreciated as a senior, not just a senior athlete, but as a senior. A lot of people will never understand what you guys are going through because they've never been in this same situation. And the way that you're telling me you're handling it is phenomenal as a young, mature young lady. But there is some good news for you. You will be playing and extending your softball career next year for at least 2 years. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Well, right whenever like the COVID was like starting, I was hitting in the cages and with Todd Inslee, and he was like, so what are you going to do after this? Are you going to go play college softball? You really need to, because you shouldn't just waste a talent like that. And I was like, well, I know, but I'm just kind of waiting. I was like hoping the season would extend to see if more colleges would come out. But Catawba called me that night and was like, I have a position for you on the team. If you want to take it, you can come look at the school and everything. And I was like, let me think about it for a couple weeks and then I'll get back to you. And so then like the season like got postponed and everything, and like it just hit me hard, and I was like, if I didn't accept this, then I would like just look back on it and just wish that I would have done it. And I just didn't want to think about that the rest of my life, just to continue something that I love to do.
Well, I agree 100%. You definitely needed to pursue your ability to play softball after high school, because it's definitely, you have a abundance of talent there on the softball field. A lot of people probably don't understand this, but you played third base at the beginning of your career at high school. Last year you had to move to first base due to an injury probably for your foot. But a lot of people don't know that you catch too. You were a heck of a catcher. I know you don't like to think about that anymore, but you have you have an array of talent on the softball field that definitely needs to continue, especially after this pandemic that we're going through. And I congratulate you on that, because not only are you going, but you're taking a buddy with you. And I don't know how you two are going to do it, but Haley Freeman's going with you as well. Are y'all rooming together?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to. I don't know how that's going to work out. That's definitely going to be an adventure. But isn't Paige Norton's there as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
So there's 3 girls from Franklin that will be playing on the same team together. That's pretty special. So congratulations on that. I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you. As a former coach of you, I'm very proud of you. But not just of extending your career, but just of the young lady that you've become and grown into. Again, watching you grow from 5th grade and younger on, and becoming the mature young lady that you've become. I'm very proud of you. And I don't care to say this. I've coached boys and girls. This girl right here is the strongest athlete I've ever coached in my life. She doesn't realize how strong she is until she grabs you by the arm, or she gives you one of those bear hugs that pops your back about 12 times. Strongest athlete I've ever coached right there, Taylor Carlton. So not only being a 3-sport athlete through high school, many people might not know this, but you were nationally ranked for your age group in CrossFit. Is that correct?
Well, so out of 200, you had to be in the top 200 to go on to regionals, and I got ranked 135th. And so you go on to like a 4-week regionals thing, and you just start doing workouts and competing with the top 200 out of the entire world. And if you got like top 20, you got to go to CrossFit Games. But I did move up a couple ranks to like 115th or something in the world. So
that's pretty impressive. Again, I bet there's a lot of people that didn't know that. But I can remember you starting as a freshman. When did you start CrossFit?
Like late freshman year, I think.
Yeah, I can remember late freshman.
Like during the basketball.
Yeah, during your freshman year, during the spring, I think you had just started, and then by the sophomore year, you really got into it and built up. And with it being out of the sports spectrum, CrossFit is obviously a sport, and for you to be nationally ranked, I think people need to know that, and that's a very high accomplishment. Again, strongest athlete I've ever coached. Yeah. Again, strongest athlete I've ever coached, bar none. Thank you for joining us. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we get off?
No.
Well, again, we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us, and thanks again, and stay safe.
Thank Thank you.